wild. They're all sealed. Hello everybody, I'm Kelly from Earthly Delights, and if this is your first time to the channel, I'm a part-time eBay reseller with my partner Melissa. And if you have watched our channel before, you've seen us going to yard sales and estate sales and thrift stores to find items to resell online for a profit. And we have been eBay resellers for about 1.5 years now. And our YouTube is going to be 1 year old in December. So we're going to have to find a way to celebrate that and mark that occasion. Stick around to the end of the video because I have a special Halloween treat for you in store. We're going to go through September and the first half of October sales. And I decided I wanted to do this video because we've had a number of Death Wish coffee mug sales, and we've also had a bunch of sales from the recent estate sale that we went to, that we bought a bunch of new with tags vintage clothing. A lot of like Halloween sweaters and Christmas sweaters and what people call like grandma sweaters or ugly sweaters. If you haven't watched the 3-part series of the Death Wish mug find and haul, I'll throw that up here. And also, if you haven't watched the estate sale video where we find all those clothes, you can watch it here. Let's go ahead and dive right into September and October sales. It has been an outstanding month and a half. We have definitely we've been really excited with all of our sales on eBay. All right, I kind of broke this down into a couple parts, and we're going to start with the Halloween items that we found recently and that just sold in the last 6 weeks. And then next we're going to look at the Death Wish mugs that have sold since our last What Sold video. And then we're going to jump into all the Goodwill finds we found recently and those items that sold and what they sold for. And after that, we're going to get into the estate sale finds and all those clothes that have sold. And then we're going to close with a yard sale that we went to. And we just found 2 items, but let me tell you, those 2 items really sold well. So you want to hang out for that. And like I said, there's a special Halloween treat at the end of this episode. So you definitely want to watch through to the very end. All right, let's go ahead and dive right into these sales. So the first item is this vintage cast iron Halloween black cat. And we found this at the Goodwill, I think at least 6 months ago. And so it's been listed in our store for quite some time. We bought it for $2.99 and it sold for $40. This thing weighed a lot. I think it was like 8 pounds. So it luckily fit in a flat rate envelope so we could keep the cost of shipping down. The next item is another Halloween decoration, and this hangs on a door. It also lights up. We just bought this at the Goodwill for $2 and we accepted a best offer of $16. The next item is this Rust Berry 1980s ceramic jack-o'-lantern. And I really like this item, and unfortunately it did have a stain on it, and it looked like someone like scratched at it to try to get it off. So this would have sold for probably $25 to $30, but we listed it for $25 and we got a best offer of $18 and we decided to take it. And I'll just show you the underside of this and the Rust Berry logo on there. We recently picked up a marketplace haul of Nightmare Before Christmas items, and we spent $300 on a bunch of stuff like action figures, and a lot of it was new in box. And we also got this snow globe, and this is a really rare snow globe. It is really cool looking, and it would sell if it was in mint condition for $400 or $500. It not only lights up, but it also blows snow inside of that snow globe. Both of those things don't work. Also, there are some broken parts on it. Just trying to find here where that is. Right, here it is. So this little bat child in the bottom right is missing one of his wings. And so, we looked it over, saw that it was broken, it wasn't working, but it still sold for $84. So we were happy with that sale. The next item that sold from that haul is this Spiral Hill box set of Jack and Sally. And It sold for, it says here 90, but we actually accepted a best offer of $80. So far, we've made more than half of our money back from that haul. Next up is this Living Dead doll, and this is another marketplace pickup. We bought 6 Living Dead dolls for, I think it was $125. And this one was the most rare of the bunch, and we sold that for $85. We had it listed for $100 and accepted that best offer. And this one was pretty awesome. And we think we'll probably make about $350 on all of the dolls once they sell. Okay, so this is an example of one of those items that you should just leave at the Goodwill. I couldn't resist it. It was a Snoopy Halloween plush, and I thought it was gonna sell for more. I didn't look it up. I didn't look up comps when I was in the Goodwill. I just grabbed it, and we got it home, and Melissa was like, you know what? Let's just list it as a auction and move it, and so it sold within 7 days on the 7-day auction for 99 cents. It's what we paid for it. We might have made $1 on the shipping, but yeah, that was something we probably should have left behind. All right, the next item is another plush, and it's Felix the cat. I bought this at the Goodwill for $1.99, and it sold to someone in England for $45. So I was super excited about that. It still had the tag with it, so it sold within a couple of months. The next is this vintage Anne Rice box set, and we got this at the Goodwill for 99 cents. They have just been pricing books across the board, whether they're box sets, whether they're bigger books or smaller books, they're all 99 cents. I think they just want to move them. And we sold this for $24. Melissa found this item at the Goodwill recently, and it's this cool single stitch Oneida t-shirt, and it's got Day of the Dead on bikes, and it was in really good condition. She bought it for $3.99, and it sold for $35. Now we're getting into the Death Wish mugs. And so we spent $3,000 on 43 Death Wish mugs plus a bunch of swag. So we estimated that we bought each mug for about $70. I think it was probably more like $60 we spent on the mugs, just because we have a number of like t-shirts and hats and things like that. So it does bring like the overall cost of each mug down a bit. This one was the Raven Nevermore from 2018, and it sold for $130. Each of these mugs are limited edition, and on the underside it has Deneen pottery, and then also it has the number, what number this is, because each one is hand thrown. The next mug that sold is this Undying Love Frankenstein mug, and it's got this like great green glaze. I really like this one. This was one of my favorites. It sold for $130. Valhalla Java Odin Forest Blend is the next mug that sold, and that sold for $85. Now, some of these mugs are worth, you know, hundreds of dollars, and some of them are worth not much more than we paid for them, but we knew that going into purchasing the collection. We saw that like overall, that once we sell all of the mugs, we should see a good profit. The collection had 2 of these Yeti mugs, and we sold the first one for $150, and we sold the next one also for $150. This one was a very exciting sale. This is the Headless Horseman. This is just a really cool Halloween mug, and this went to somebody in Hawaii, and it sold for $450. So I was very excited about that sale. We found this Danone coffee mug, and it has like the coffee history on it, and it looked like an interesting mug. I picked it up at the Goodwill for 99 cents, and it sold for $30. I'm just going to show you at the bottom here. You can see a design by Origin Studios, Danone, and it's stoneware, and it's made in Scotland. And we found this at the Goodwill. It sold in under 24 hours, and sometimes when things sell really fast, you kind of second guess yourself, like, did I price this right? It went to somebody in England, and you know, it sold fast, which was good. The next item is this hand-carved folk art cat, and I just really love this little cat. It was 99 cents at the Goodwill, and it is signed, and it's got a date of 1990 on it. It's a 6-inch piece, and it sold for $25. I always like picking up animal figurines from the Goodwill, especially when they're priced at $1 and they've been handmade. Now, we pick up this pottery a lot, and I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Polish pottery. I'm not going to attempt it. And we've sold a number of bowls and a bunny figure. This is a cool plate. We bought it for $1 at a flea market, and it sold for $20. So the next item is this studio art pottery planter, and it is just a gorgeous piece, and it was $5 at the Goodwill. We accepted a best offer of $37. We had it listed for $45. This has been in our store for a little while. I picked it up at the Goodwill for $1. I have considered dropping the price, but just decided to, keep it at $30. And I think we've had it in our store for about 5 months now, and it sold for full price at $30. So sometimes it's just good to wait and let things sit. Next is this clamp lamp from IKEA, and we bought 2 of these, and they were $3.99 each, and they each sold for $20, and they sold within a couple of days. So that was a good flip. And we picked these up at a thrift store that was new to us that donates all of its money to animal shelters. So it was a nice place to find, and they had some good things. I've learned from this, never underestimate a Danish dot. We picked this up for $1 at the Goodwill, and it sold for $30. And it's just a round dot that hangs on the wall, and you can like hang a bag on it or a hat on it. We picked up 2 of these, and we still have 1 to sell. Next up is this vintage Revereware, and it's got the copper bottom. We picked this up at an estate sale for $20, and it sold for $140. Now, this item was another item that took a while to sell. We had it up in our store for a number of months. I thought it was going to go pretty quickly just because it's new vintage, but we had to be patient with it. We had it listed for $200. We realized that was a little bit high, and so we listed it for $160 and then got a best offer of $140 and decided to take that. So definitely happy with that sale. Next up is this Patagonia sweatshirt, and we got this at the Goodwill for $5.99, and it sold for $30. Now, we found this at the Goodwill for $3.99, and we weren't sure about it and if it would sell for very much. We liked it, we thought it was fun, and it sold for $32 in best offer. I think we had it listed for $45. It also has the tour dates on the back. We found this at the Goodwill. Short jackets are $9.99 there, so this was definitely one we didn't want to pass up. It was in great condition. It sold to someone in England, and it sold for $59. He emailed us, he was so happy with it, and he asked us, he said, if you find any more vintage starter jackets, let me know, and I'm really interested in buying them. He gave us a couple of teams that he particularly wanted. So if we find them, we'll probably reach out to him. We don't have a lot of experience selling Air Jordan items, but we thought this sweatshirt was really cool. We bought it for $6 at the Goodwill, and we sold it for $30. We found this vintage Gap hoodie at the Goodwill for $6, and it sold for $30. I saw this at the Goodwill, this Ariana Grande tour sweatshirt, and it sold for $60. Another Goodwill find was this $6 Big Dogs fleece sweatshirt from the 90s, and here's the tag here. It was a 3X, and it sold for $29. I just love this. It's just such a cool cape. It's a knit cape, and I found this at the Goodwill, and we paid $6 for it, and it sold for $22. We picked up these Converse sneakers. At our Goodwill, sneakers are $9.99, and they sold recently for $40. Now this was new to us. We picked up these All Saints Japanese fabric selvage jeans, and this is the first time we've ever found these, and we didn't know what they were ahead of time. But they looked interesting. We brought them home and looked them up, and we paid $6 for these, and they sold for $40. Now we're getting into that estate sale haul and all the new vintage clothes we found there, and we paid about 50 cents per item. So, I mean, we're really not in much at all for all of these clothes we bought, which is really exciting. It just kind of feels like pure profit. And we picked up this Tall Tex sweatshirt. It's got this scarecrow, and it's just a cool sweatshirt, and we sold that for $20. Next is this Storybook knit sweater. These were made by QVC. They're limited edition, and they were new with tags. And they've got like really cool details on them in terms of like their buttons. They're really fun. And this sold for $34. We also sold this Storybook knit sweater. You can see that they've got like a lot going on. The front and the back are really different. So this one sold for $28, and again, we were in it for about 50 cents. Next up is this Nordic design sweater, and we sold this for $40. We've sold quite a few Nordic design sweaters. We found these at the Goodwill. They're usually $6. We tend to pick them up every time we see them. We found them at this estate sale, so we definitely didn't want to pass it up for, 50 cents. Next is this pumpkin patch vintage zip sweatshirt, and it's got these like cute pumpkins and this really cute pumpkin pull on the zipper, and that sold for $15. We found a number of Christmas and holiday sweaters, and we found this sequin jacket, and this one sold for $18. This is the first time we've ever sold boxer shorts, and these were new, and I just couldn't pass them up. I thought they were really fun. They're definitely vintage, made in the USA, and they've got that fun radioactive, all over print, and we sold those for $15. We accepted a best offer on those. Here's another Christmas sweater that we found. It's new with tags, and we sold that for $15. Given that it was $1 a bag for these clothes, we threw a bunch of stuff in there. And so we picked up this Kitten and Bears Big Splash Puddle Jump Contest t-shirt, and it sold for $12. I just love this. It's like hand embroidered. It's a farm scene, and it is new with tags. We picked up a number of these. There's a couple holiday ones that we found, and this one sold for $18. This vintage single stitch Hawaii t-shirt sold for $16. We found this awesome classic vintage winter hat, and it's made by Montgomery Ward, and we sold that for $14. This next item is also Montgomery Ward. It is this awesome women's one-piece footy pajamas. It's a part zip, and it's got the actual little pom-pom connected to the zipper. And you can see the footies there. Melissa listed these, and it sold in under 24 hours. I think she had it listed for $45, and we accepted a best offer of $37. We also picked up a bunch of Christmas ornaments at the estate sale. There was a ton of Christmas ornaments in boxes. We picked up about 10 boxes or so of these. This one sold for $18. Some more Christmas ornaments that sold. They have, cute little animals in pine cones. These were new in box, and they sold for $10. And we actually picked up 2 boxes of these, so we still have one more to sell. And this is the last item that we've sold so far from that estate sale. This is a Victorian Village, and it's a light up fence for Christmas villaging, and this one sold for $18. And lastly, we're going to close with some yard sale finds. This is something that Melissa found at a yard sale that I wasn't at, and she paid $1 each for these Christmas ornaments, and they were in really good condition, and they sold within 24 hours for $24. And then this was something we were really excited about. We went to a yard sale. They were advertising this like crazy. There were flyers everywhere through the city, and we were really excited to go to it. And we got there, and there just wasn't that much there. But what was there, we did really well with. So this is an electric Pizzelle iron, and it was brand new in the box. We had it listed for $80, and we took a best offer of $70, and it sold within 24 hours. One other thing that we did pick up at that yard sale was a Halloween decoration, and it is a vacuum cleaner. And we had it listed for $70, and we accepted a best offer of $50. We're still waiting for the person to pay, but they did say they were going to pay today. So we picked up the Pizzelle maker, and we also picked up this Halloween decoration at the yard sale, and I think we paid $5 each for those items. So we turned $10 into 120 bucks. So we were really excited with both of those items. That's the last 6 weeks of sales. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We release videos on us going out and sourcing and finding new items to resell on eBay, and we also do these what sold videos. And also hit that like button. Both of those things really help our channel grow. And as I promised, we've got a Halloween treat to end the episode. Happy Halloween, everybody!